In this video, I'm going to show you how to make these farmhouse wall decor pieces. If you want to learn how to make them, well then follow me. What's up, Glue Dots? I'm Elaine, the Midnight Crafter, and the project that I have for you tonight is something I have been wanting to do for such a long time. I don't know what took me so long to do this, because it's really cute and it's really fun and it's really not that hard, actually. I don't know, it depends on your skill level, your crafting level, but it looks really, really cute in several different styles of decor, and I'm really excited to show it to you. It's a fun one. So before we get to that though, I would absolutely love it if you join the Glue Dot family by hitting that subscribe button right down there below. It's the red button that says subscribe, and right next to it, and right next to it, the bell. If you hit that, it will notify you every time I upload a new video. Also, leave me a comment. I love hearing from you guys, and give me that thumbs up if you're enjoying my videos. Also, I've created a Facebook group called Midnight Crafter Glue Dots. For those of you that would like to join and haven't already, you can just head on over to Facebook. Over there, we do recreations of the projects that you've learned here on my channel. So it's really cool seeing people's different modified versions of what they've learned, and it's a lot of fun, and I love all the support you all are giving each other. It's really awesome to see that, and it's a lot of encouragement for the new crafters out there, and even for people who have been crafting a long time. I love that this Glue Dot family is so close and so supportive and so awesome, and I knew you guys were going to be an awesome group of people. I just knew it. So head on over there, join our group, post some of your recreations, offer some support, offer some ideas if you have for other crafts that you see people recreate. And also, I do want to mention that you guys, aside from being amazing just in general, it has been really, really incredible to see the support that you give for people who win the drawings or anything, just in general. I mean, you guys are the bestest ever. So, all right, I think enough chit chat. You guys know what we need to do. Let's get to the project. First thing we're gonna do, and you know that I like to paint everything first to give it a good chance to dry, but we need to take this little baby apart. Just remove this backing, and then what we're going to be doing is using a little straight edge razor blade here, and from the inside we're just going to be scratching off all of these words. They come off pretty easily. You can see already, I mean, that was nothing, and I've already got part of it off. And then what I'll be doing is using my acrylic paint that I think I got it from, I don't know, Michael's or something, but you can get it at Dollar Tree. And I'm going to be painting the entire inside and the outside, including the frame here. You want to paint the inside of your frame as well as the outside, because this is such a deep frame. When you're looking at it from outside, you're going to be able to see some of that inner edge there. So we don't want that to be black and the rest to be white. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that all painted inside as well as the outside, and we're going to give this all a good chance to dry. So go ahead and paint all three of them, and we'll be back. The next step, because we need this to dry as well, we're going to be taking the dish towel that we got. Now, if you don't want to use a dish towel, there's other options. What you can do is, if you have some burlap, or if you have some other fabric, or even the burlap ribbon strips, you can use that. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the back of our little frame piece or a little bank as a template. So line that up on your fabric, and I'm just going to trace it out here so that I know where to cut. Now, if I didn't think about it, but if you want to, you can make sure that your stripes are lined up. It did not occur to me until I started cutting just now, but what else is new? And I'm going to do one to show you. What we'll be doing here now is take the inside part of the back of your piece And we're going to be using, if you have Mod Podge, you can use that. If you want to use school glue, you can use that. Either way, if you have spray adhesive that you want to just spray on this surface, that will work as well. I'm just going to be using school glue and putting it on the back here and spreading it out. And we're going to be putting our piece of fabric down. This is going to be the backing to our picture, or our flower, or whatever you want to call it. And decide how you want your stripes, vertical, horizontal, and get that down there and smooth it out. And you have your one backing done. We're going to do 3 of those. In the meantime, we're going to let these dry, and our frames are still drying from the paint. And then we're going to work on the flowers. I actually changed my mind. Instead of doing the 3 of them with this fabric, the dish towel fabric, because that's one option, I want to show you what will look like with the other options as well. I found this burlap ribbon, which it does not have a wire in it, but it also doesn't fit completely across, so there will be seams on it. That's one option. And then this other burlap ribbon, I got these at Dollar General because I'm not at home right now and we are away for the weekend. And we have a Dollar General up here, but not a Dollar Tree. So these were the 2 options. This one's a little more dense, like a little more ribbon-like. And then this one's more burlap. And this one is not wired and the other one has wire. So I'm going to do one of each of these as well, just to show you the difference, so you can choose what you like best. And you may be able to find entire like sheets, or if you have that burlap fabric, bigger rolls of it or something wider, awesome. It'll be even easier. You know what I decided? I'm actually going to cut this edging off of here so that I don't have so obvious of a seam. There we go, a little less obvious that way. And I'll do the 3rd one with the other ribbon I have. Why not do them all 3 completely different? I'm kind of liking this one. I like the way it almost looks like how wood slats would look. So I kind of like that. So we have this one. Hopefully this is in focus. And then we have this one, the burlap that I cut the seams off of. And then we have this one here with the dish towel fabric. So we'll give a try to all 3 of those and see how they turn out. While we're waiting for our other goodies to dry, we're going to work on our flowers. So take your book page. These I had taken out of a book that I made another project with. So these were leftover pages. So what we're going to be doing is you take your one book page, and I'm going to be cutting off the top section here down to the words. And then I'm also going to be cutting off the bottom section and get rid of those. And then I'm going to fold this into thirds. And I'm going to be cutting off the white on the ends here as well. So we want to have as much words on our flowers as possible and less white stuff showing. So now we have our paper that's folded into thirds, our page. And we are going to, one more time, fold our page into thirds. What we're going to want to do is cut off the folded end. You want to make sure that is cut off so that you have just all raw ends there, so your petals won't be stuck together. Then, after you cut off that bottom part, you're going to cut your petal shape. So, starting at the bottom, we're going to be doing a couple different sizes of petals. So, this one's going to be my bigger one. Kind of like a leaf shape is what we're doing, and leaving the bottom flat. Okay, and you will have 9 petals at this point. So we're going to do that one more time. So you're going to want ultimately to have 2 different sizes of petals. Trace the other petal on here and then go slightly smaller than that petal. We're going to put the bigger ones off to the side here and start with the smaller ones. And you're going to take your petal and fold it in half, not completely, just at that bottom flat part, so that you can have this shape right here. And right where you pinched it, you're going to put just a dab of glue, not a lot, just enough that it will stick that together. And I like the hot glue for this because it's fast. And if you don't put a lot, it won't ooze out of there and burn you. So just go easy on it. And that's what we have. Okay, so we're going to do that with all of these smaller petals first. You shouldn't have too much of your petal glued together. Most of it should be opened up there like that. So we have 4 petals made with the smaller ones, and we're going to need 4 more that are even slightly smaller. So if you take 4 of your 5 remaining petals, put them together, you can trim those down by just a little bit as well, making them just a little smaller. And you're going to continue on the same way you were with the other ones. Pinching that bottom. That could be construed in many different ways. Oh boy, oh boy. Now, if you know other ways to make flowers that you like, by all means, make any style of flower you want. This is just, one way that I am doing. Your flowers can be, there's so many different types of paper flowers that can be made. So if you know another way, go for it. So now we have our largest petals put to the side, our medium-sized petals here, and then our smallest petals here. We're going to be taking the medium-sized petals and we're going to be attaching 2 of them together like this. So a little dot of glue here on the side of that pinched part and attaching the other one to it, just like that. Next, you're going to take your other 2 medium-sized petals and we're going to be gluing those in place onto the sides in between. So basically you'll have a cross shape. So right on that edge of that paper there, you're going to put your hot glue and attach it in the center of the other 2 and hold it there in place until it cools off. And if you still have a glob of glue, well, I shouldn't even go there, but if you have a glob of glue there while it's drying, you really could stick your other small petal in place on each side of it. So, but I think I'm making things more confusing, but we're going to be gluing the small petals ultimately in between these medium-sized petals. So that's what you're going to go around, finish off your flower. If it's too hard for you to do it that way, adding the small ones, wait till the larger ones have cooled off and then add in the smaller ones. Like I'm having a little trouble with this one. I should just wait on that last petal. Once you have those all together, you will have something like this. The last little step for this particular flower is we're going to have an extra petal here left over, which is fine. And then we're going to take our largest petals and we're going to be placing those in between each of the spaces here. Put a little bit of glue here on the bottom of your biggest petal and glue it in place right in between the other 2 petals there. So it's going to start creating a base here that's going to cover up that hole. Okay, so we have one flower finished here, and then what you can do is take your fingernail just like you would with curling ribbon, and you go on that edge with your fingernail against your finger, and then you can sort of give those a little bit of a flipping up. Kind of gives a little dimension to your flower. So here's our one flower. This now it's looking a little like a water lily. We're going to put that aside and we're going to work on another style of flower. Okay, for our next flower, what we're going to be doing is you're going to need 2 pages. The first page, you're going to fold it in half, and then, but don't really crease it hard, just kind of a light fold, and then in half again. What we're going to be doing is cutting a circle out. So I didn't bother cutting these off, I'm just going to make my circle kind of knowing that that edge is there. Make the circle as best you can here like this, and you can make adjustments if need be when you open it. Mine's a bit of an oval here, so I'm going to just adjust it a bit. The thing is, if you want to, you can always use something and draw out a circle on your page. That's definitely an option, and if you aren't confident in your skills here, then for sure, just take something round that will cover just the word part. If you can find something. So we have our somewhat circle here, circle-ish somewhat, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And what we're going to be doing with this one is starting at the edge and cutting around, making about a 1/2 to 3/4 inch. Keep going around and cutting and cutting and cutting until we reach the center. And try and be conscious to keep, because it's easy to kind of get too close to that edge, but try and keep an equal distance as you come around. Go all the way around until you reach the center. So you should have a nice little squiggly snake like this. And then what we're going to do, I like to use a pen or something to get me started, a pencil. You're going to start from the outside end and give that a little bit of a twist. And you're going to just keep twisting that around. It's easiest to do it around a pencil or a pen or something. You don't have to. Now you can take it off once you get a good start and just keep wrapping it around. So now you let it go. And we have this. And if you wanted such a small rose, you could leave it like that, but I want my rose to be bigger and take up more of my page, because remember, we have this big of a surface, and that's an awfully small little flower for that. So what we'll be doing is taking our second book page and doing the same thing kind of that we did on the first one. And then you're going to make another circle. Now this circle is going to be a little bit smaller. You're going to want to make sure this one is the size of what you want your flower to be on your background. So this is still really big. Of course, it's a bit misshapen, so I'm going to adjust it. So here we have the base for our rose. Now what we're going to do, you're going to start, now you have this all wound up, you're going to take this bottom part here and add a little bit of glue to it, and we're going to glue it kind of towards the outer edge. Not completely at the outer edge, but not center either. So somewhere in between center and the edge, you're going to put some glue on the back of that inside part of your snake and glue that down kind of right about there. Then you're going to start unwinding your rose onto your page, and it's going to make a bit of kind of some ripples in there. And periodically what you're going to want to do is kind of tack those down in a couple of spots. So here where it's first starting out and it's popping up there, I'm going to add just a little dot of glue and tack that down. And that way we can create some more ripples in it and tack it down in a few spots to give your flower the shape that you want it to have. You're going to work your way around, kind of play with it as you go. It's a little hard, this one, to show you because each one is going to be entirely different. So yours may end up looking totally different than mine, and that's okay. Just like in nature, flowers are different and people are different, and that's what makes the world an awesome place to live. So if you guys are enjoying my channel, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and to leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of all this. I know you guys have some amazing ways of making flowers. I'm sure of it. So feel free to pass those along. And also, you know, you can share your ideas with that stuff on my Midnight Crafter Glue Dots Facebook group. So go in there, find that, and we will get you part of the group. Okay, so now I have a lot of this glued in. And oh, by the way, that group is for recreations of projects that you see made here. So I know there are a lot of other groups that do all kinds of other craft projects, and that's awesome, but I really want this one to be different. I want it to be where we can give each other ideas and support on the projects that you're already seeing made here. So like ideas for flowers, that would be great, or your version of this project. All right, so I've pretty much got this where I want it. I think the last thing I'm going to do is take this very, very center part of my flower, secure that, anchor it down in the middle. Okay, so this is what we've got right now. Now this bottom circle, what we're going to go ahead and do is take your scissors and just go around and give that a little bit of a curvy edge, however you want. And here is our rose. So for the third flower, you're going to be taking a page, folding in half and in half, cut the one side of the white off, and then fold it directly in half. Okay, so with this one, this flower, we are going to make something that looks like this. So we want our flower petals to be kind of almost round, sort of like an egg shape. So you see kind of we have an egg shape here. So we should have 8 petals, okay? Just keep them lined up. So instead of folding them individually one at a time like I did with our first flower, take your whole stack of them and pinch that bottom. Pinch the bottom, pinch the bottom, pinch the cheeks. No, not the cheeks, the bottom of our flower petal. Just squeeze the cheeks and then that way you'll be forming this petal shape right here. So we're going to go through just like we did on our other one, and we're going to glue with one tiny little even scrape of glue there so that you don't burn yourself. Pinch that together and just glue it shut there like that. Okay, so we have our 8 petals, and now you're going to take back from your rose, you have this other piece of paper left over. So what we're going to do with that is cut a strip across about 4 lines of text. Should be about right. And what you're going to be doing with this piece here is making small cuts, not all the way down, but part of the way down. And go all the way across this piece, making the cuts real close together, but don't cut all the way through your strip. So this part here is going to be, okay you guys, I think it's called stamen. I had a few of you fabulous glue dots tell me that it's a stamen. So I think we're making the stamen here. Okay, so now you have this piece here which has all this feathered out piece. What you're going to do is start rolling that up, and we're going to roll it all the way till the whole piece is one big stamen. One big roll of stamen, yippee! So, what you're going to do now, I got to the end, have this all rolled up, put a little dot of glue there, and glue that so that it doesn't unroll. Then push your little stamen pieces. Now I'm so excited that I know that word. Okay, and you can kind of squish them around, get them sort of spread out there like that. Okay, and then again with one of your leftover scrap pieces, and we're going to be cutting one, I don't know, maybe about a 1-inch diameter circle. And then what you're going to do is right there in that center, we're going to glue in our, go ahead, say it with me, stamen, yay! Now we're going to go around and we're going to glue our petals individually around there. It's going to have that little space in there, and that's okay because it kind of makes the flower look cool. So the next step that we're going to do will be attaching the flowers to the backs. So here are my 3 backings, and I'm going to go ahead and figure out which flower I want to glue on which backing. Okay, I like the way these are, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a dot of glue on the back of each one and place them, and we'll get these put together, and they're all done and they're super cute. Well, not quite done, we have to put the hangers on, but we're gonna get these put together here in a second. Okay, now for this last part, I'm gonna use this ribbon that I got from Dollar Tree, and what we're gonna be doing is cutting it directly in half on the line, right in the dead center of the lace. Now, we don't need very long of a piece. You're going to want a piece that is going to serve as a hanger. So adding a good amount of my hot glue to where I want to attach it. And then my famous, anybody that knows me knows I love my parchment paper for this, especially when you're using something that has big holes like this in it, because that glue seeps right through there. I'm going to finish that up, and then I'm going to show you them all done and put up. Super duper cute. Okay, while you're waiting for that, go hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave me a comment, do all that fun stuff, share it, you know.